Or if like the president, let's just say hypothetically that the president is a Democrat, right?
Okay.
And your congressmen and senators are Republicans, okay? And he don't like Republicans. And he was wanting to get back at Republicans. Well, their states may not get certain contracts from the federal government that would have kept people working at some of these government installations that are dotted all over this dad-blasted state. We have people like, I know at our church, all the time, at least 2 or 3 times a year, it's like, okay, we got to all get together and pray for everybody that works at the Anniston Army Depot because they're going to lay off about 700 people. 700 people? That's a lot of jobs, man. And that's some entire factories might have 700 employees. But on a government installation, that's just a drop in the bucket, man. And that's all that, like, these progressive big government people, they're so busy looking at big picture that they fail to see those little dots that are on that picture.
See, you eliminate 700 jobs, you can kill a whole community.
They have done that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when they demilitarized Fort McClellan, how many jobs was lost? I remember when they demilled it and just laid everybody off, I was in between jobs. I had to leave this town and move to Birmingham to find work because I was trying to compete with half the city for every single job that there was.
Well, and then the city ended up turning into a ghost town. I mean, businesses boarded up. Now it looks like, downtown Beirut now.
And ironically enough, we have a progressive mayor.
Yep.
And a progressive city council.
It was them same progressives that decided it'd be a good idea to say, okay, we're going to let one business come in here, and they're going to employ some people. But the condition of that business locating right here on this land is that nothing can be built around it for 10 years. Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yes, excellent deal right there.
That's progressive policies at work. One city, one vision.
And when the government picks the winner and the government picks the loser.
See,
does this sound good to y'all?
This is what happened to Baltimore. It doesn't have anything to do with police brutality. It doesn't have anything to do with racism.
It has everything to do with progressive politics.
And people being too dang lazy to think for theirself.
And progressive social engineering. Not Democrat social engineering, progressive social engineering. Because, let's face it, old G.W. Bush,
progressive.
He's a progressive.
Well, we spent plenty of years cussing him. But we can't cuss him no more. You know why?
He's not president.
Because this other fella's had the job for like 6.5 years now.
Yeah, and he's been...
And instead of getting us out of the hole, where GW put a $7 trillion in the hole, instead of getting us out of that, he added another...
$11 trillion.
$11 trillion to it.
That's not... went from 7 to 11 trillion. No, he added 11 trillion. That brings the total up to 18 trillion, in case y'all were having a little trouble with the math.
Yeah.
So
one of this country's biggest problems is that people are too lazy to think for themselves. You go over in Europe or any of these other countries and ask them, what do you think of Americans? That's one of the first things they're going to say. Lazy. And you know what? It's one of them hard truths. Yep, my fellow Americans, we're sorry. I mean, we have gotten so lazy to the point that we're not wanting to do our own research and see what's going on in the world around us because it might be hard to, it's hard truth sometimes, and some of this stuff is just uncomfortable to think about, and I just don't like talking about it, and it always makes people mad. That is no excuse.
Well, look
to be a part of the process.
Look where it has gotten us.
Our cities are now on fire because people will not think for themselves.
Well, the parts that haven't already fallen down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I guess we're getting probably close to the end of our little rainbow here.
We are.
So it's probably time, since we've been griping this whole time. Look, folks, there's a way out of this.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we talk about it every single show. See, we've gotten to this point, not just through a little bit of political laziness, but we have become an extremely spiritually lazy people too.
Amoral.
Yeah, because
Gnostic.
it's just so easy to not pick up our Bibles and read our Bibles. It's so easy to get up and run down to McDonald's for breakfast than it is to drop down on our knees and say a little prayer in the morning before we start our day.
Or to say something really stupid like, there's no God anyway, so it don't matter what I do.
Well, you know what? Those people, like the poor, will always be with us, and they can't help us out of our problems.
You got that right.
But to all of you people out there who, when somebody says there is no God, you go, wait. Okay, it's y'all that Marty and I are talking to right now.
This is where you can do something.
That's right.
We've got the instruction manual.
Mm-hmm.
We've got just a little piece of the instruction manual that we'll leave with you.
It's an action plan.
Right. Now, it comes, you have to look in your Bible to find this, okay? But you can just flip to 2 Chronicles, the 7th chapter, the 14th verse. It's a very simple plan. But if history's any judge, sort of works out.
Mm-hmm.
Because, if you're going to believe the Bible, then you got to believe God keeps his promises. So, that being said, it says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways,
then I will hear from heaven. I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land.
see that last part. That's the best part. That's what we need. This country needs a good healing, man.
But
Too many open wounds in this country.
and not enough open Bibles.
Well,
So, there's you an action plan. It does require action. But
Look.
it's the only time in this world where you will actually find a simple solution to a complex problem.
if you call yourself a Christian, then put your faith to work. If you're a Catholic, then get your butt to Mass. Start praying to some of them saints. If you're a Jew, get your behind into the synagogue. Start talking to your rabbi a little bit more, and your neighbors, get them to talk to them too. Don't let other people do your thinking and your praying for you. Be a part of it. If you're going to claim that this is what you believe, then if there was ever a time for this country to, put its faith into action, this is it, right now. I am sick to death of hearing the crowd that says, oh, it's the end time.
It might be. If so, bring it.
I like that bumper sticker that used to say, Jesus is coming, everybody look busy.
Mm-hmm.
Duh. All right, well, if that's what you believe, then shouldn't you be acting like it? I mean, if that's really what you believe, if you really believe this is the end time, well, then just another reason that you should be hitting your knees and humbling yourself and praying.
Well, all them people, though, I tell you what, the ones that make me the maddest are the ones that get around and go, well, it don't matter how I vote. It don't matter. Nothing I can do is going to change it. Same people going to be in charge all the time. No, we just told you the most powerful thing, the only thing that's actually going to work is to humble yourself.
I'm just
and
one
pray.
man, just one person. So was Gandhi. So was Martin Luther King. So was Jesus Christ.
But if all these one people get together and pray together
Ooh.
at the same time, we can make a change.
If there was ever a time for us to, try to get God's attention and say, hey, we're really sorry. Can we have a do-over? Now would be a good time for that because things are getting out of hand, really fast at an alarming rate. They're spiraling out of control. It is not uncommon to hear people saying, man, we're going to have a war right here in this country. Man, that's scary. It's scary that people are actually contemplating that. Man, 20 years ago,
but you can't,
30 years ago, people wouldn't have said that.
You can't be having a war in church.
Well,
if you're in church, you can't be out there rioting on them streets. If you're down on your knees praying, you can't be throwing no rocks at no cops.
Well,
and if the cops are in church on Sunday mornings when they're off work, and they have their open, they carry a Bible around with them in their squad car, they're not going to be beating nobody up.
Nope.
So, folks,
it's a really simple solution when you think about it.
It's the only time in the world, in all of your life, everywhere else you look, it's the only place where you will ever find a simple solution to a complex problem.
Look, this is one thing
Chronicles.
that Protestants and Catholics can agree on. It's something that Jews and Gentiles can agree on. We all claim to serve the same God, right?
Right.
That scripture I read from, that's Old Testament. So that's the Jews, that's them too.
From the Chronicles of the Jewish people.
If you are going to claim to have your faith of any kind, what good is it doing you if you're not putting it to use? I have fielded many a complaint from people that are kind of torqued off about the fact that Casey and I talk about our faith now at the end of our show, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm not going to cower my faith because it makes you uncomfortable. That's no longer my problem because I'm not doing anything that would make you uncomfortable except having the faith. And since I ain't worrying about that splinter in your eye and I'm too busy concentrating on this big old honking log in my face, well, then it's not my problem that my faith bothers you. And part of my faith says I've got to tell people. It's my job that besides that, if you know something that works, that's really good, why would you keep that to yourself?
Wow.
And if you're going to claim to have it, look, I'm sick of seeing somebody or hearing somebody say, well, I'm a Christian, but I'm not going to go to church. Or I'm a Jew, but I'm not a practicing Jew. What do you mean you're not a practice? You can't. How do you unpractice being a Jew?
Well, the same way you unpractice being a Christian. And I know because I did it for years.
You unpractice.
I unpracticed, and it didn't get me anywhere. I didn't get to see any miracles, because I wasn't looking for them. I didn't believe in them. Well, just here in the last year or so, I have actually seen God at work with my own eyeballs, heard it with my own ears. I've witnessed it. Marty and I are witnesses, and we can't not say these things. So
we ain't perfect, and
we're just witnesses.
Yeah, we're actually pretty crappy, but that's the beauty of our faith.
Well, God can talk through a donkey.
And he does. He just got through doing it through two of them.
So, y'all.
Well, look, with that, we're dinging here.
We've hit the end of the rainbow.
Yeah. All right. Look it. We will see you guys on Tuesday. We've got something pretty cool in the works. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but just know we've got something really cool for y'all in the works, and you're going to love it. But we will be back on Tuesday.
And hey, before the show ends, there's something I'd just like to tell people. Look, you want to keep doing something? You want to actually take an active part? Okay, pray. Do that.
Okay.
Okay, here's another thing they can do. When you see us post a link to our website and you like the article, you go to it and you read it. Share it on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Share it on Twitter and put the word out. Because, those of you who have stuck this far into the show, well, then y'all are the people that we're talking to, and y'all are the ones who can actually go out and make a difference. And that's one way of making a difference right there. We're not making no money off of it.
No.
So I'm not asking you to, this is not some way for us to line our pockets. I just want to get the word out there. And this is a way to do it. So just click that little share button on Facebook, post a link on Twitter. or your Instagram account or Pinterest, whatever, you know.